Today on News Pools, no fuel for Russia. New refinery attacks leave oil plants ablaze. European and British diplomatic buildings hit by Russian missiles in Kiev overnight. Flamingo and Long Neptune Ukraine missiles which hopefully change the game. We are UATV. My name is Henry Keane and welcome to the News Pools.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
Last night, Ukrainian defense forces carried out drone strikes on two major oil refineries deep inside Russia, one in the Samara region, the other in Krasnodar Krai. The targets, the Kuybyshev refinery, which amongst other things produces fuel for Russian combat aircraft, including the supersonic Tu-22M3 bombers, and the Afipsky refinery was hit, a key supplier of gasoline and diesel for the Russian military.
Russians go home. Tonight the Koshey needle just lost another 4.7% of its refinery output. Over the past 2 weeks, Ukraine's strikes have shaved off a full 21% of Russia's oil refining capacity. Kuybyshev refinery, 7 million tons of oil annually, 2.5% of total refinery volume, hit by stink of the birds drone strike by the 14th UAV Regiment in coordination with Ukraine's Special Operation Forces. Afipsky refinery, 6.25 million tons per year, about 2.2% of Russia's total, also hit by sting of the birds, this time alongside Ukraine's defense intelligence. Warm fuel is becoming a scarce fluid, and their gas and oil burning up fast. Robert Magyar-Brovdi, commander of Ukraine's drone systems forces, on Telegram.
You know, this is a complete mess, right?
I've lost count of how many shots they've fired.
17. I counted.
I'm already keeping track.
17! That was the 17th just now.
I think, holy they've bombed the whole factory.
They've blown up the whole factory. I work here. I just woke up because my workplace is shaking like hell.
Yeah, right now.
Pardon me my smile. Ukraine's systematic strikes on Russian oil infrastructure are beginning to kick in, really, and bite. Fuel shortages are now being reported in several Russian regions and even more critically, in Russian-occupied territories of Ukraine. A fuel crisis has already begun in occupied parts of Zaporizhia and Luhansk, following earlier shortages in peninsula of Crimea. The strikes we're seeing now from the night of August 28th weren't just part of a deep strike campaign. They were also a direct response to Russian attacks on Ukraine happening at the same time. Hungary has banned the entry into the Schengen zone for a Ukrainian officer responsible for the strike on the Druzhba oil pipeline on August 21st. This was announced on social media by Hungary's Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó himself. I quote, "This was an attack on Hungary's sovereignty, endangering our energy security and nearly forcing the use of our strategic reserves," said Szijjártó right on this day, 28th of August, after Russia struck Kiev with missiles and drones and killed civilians and children.
Go far away, Mr. Dance and Bones, along with your sanctions and restrictions on visiting Hungary. I am Ukrainian and I will arrive in my father's homeland after you. There are enough real Magyars in Hungary, and one day they will have enough of you. By pleading for the Druzhba oil pipeline, you are not protecting the sovereignty of Hungary, but your own dirty pockets, filled with cheap raw materials, under sanctions, by buying which you are contributing to the increase in blood money that is flying back with missiles and shaheeds over the peaceful cities of Ukraine. And only today, August 28, 2095, you killed dozens of Ukrainians in Kiev. Your limbs are up to the elbow in Ukrainian blood, and we will remember that. Robert Magyar-Brovdi, commander of the Ukraine's drone systems forces, on Telegram.
Overnight, August 28th, Kiev was subjected to one of the most massive and brutal attacks in recent months so far by Russia. Russians used it all. Assault drones, ballistic and cruise missiles, hypersonic daggers missiles, which led to large-scale destruction in several areas of the city. The central district and the left bank of Kiev suffered the most. You can see a double missile strike on the single building right now. Imagine what precision is needed to hit a single residential building twice in just 20 seconds. It is deliberate, no doubt about that. In the Darnitsky district, several multi-story buildings were catastrophically damaged. Rescues are clearing rubble under which people may still be trapped as of now. In the Dnipro district, shelling caused a fire in a 25-story residential building and an office. Private cars in the nearby yards also burned down completely. In the Shevchenkivsky district, the fire engulfed several objects at once, including one office building just as well, an educational institution, and at least 9 private cars. The fire quickly spread to the first floors of neighboring buildings. Also, the British Council building in the Kyiv city was damaged, as well as the building housing the European Union's mission to Ukraine. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha has reported on that.
During the night strike, Russia also targeted diplomats in direct breach of the Vienna Convention. The EU mission to Ukraine was damaged. This requires not only the EU's, but worldwide condemnation. We express solidarity with our EU colleagues and are ready to provide assistance. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on X social network.
Well, let me quote some more of Andriy Sybiha for you as an outro of sorts for this topic. Russia's killed people, including children, and targeted civilian infrastructure. Whatever Putin said in Alaska, his real actions reject diplomacy, dialogue, and any peace efforts. And now let me do some math for our partners in Washington. Tonight, Vladimir Putin, a man who the United States welcomed to Alaska to talk about peace, shelled the buildings of the British Council and European Union in Kyiv. Vladimir Putin also, this morning alone, killed 15 civilians and 5 children in Kyiv so far, the youngest of whom was only 7 years old. It is just one day of 4 years of Russian terror in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin did all that after he met Donald Trump on a red carpet in Anchorage. Knowing that he would do it, the very moment he shake Trump's hand, and mark my words, Vladimir Putin will continue. He will kill more people. Maybe tomorrow he will kill me and more Ukrainian civilians just because he can. Because Vladimir Putin knows well, after he kills us, Donald Trump would surely give him another couple of weeks for a possible peace deal, and then another 2 weeks, and then more. Until one day, Putin just feels impudent enough to start killing Americans in America. I'm sure then Putin would like to meet Donald Trump again to talk about peace, only this time somewhere in Russian North Siberia maybe, or China.
We are waiting for China's reaction to what is happening. China has repeatedly called for a non-expansion of the war and a ceasefire. This is not because of Russia. We are waiting for Hungary's reaction. The deaths of children should definitely cause more emotions than anything else. We are waiting for the reaction of everyone in the world who called for peace, but now is more often silent than taking principled positions. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Amongst missiles, including the mere ballistic Kinzhals, daggers, Kyiv was under attack also by a large swarm of Jet-Shahed drones, which Russia recently started to mass produce. They are powered by PBS jet engines produced in the Czech Republic, by the way. Yes, this is about sanctions. To be precise, about total possibility of Russia to circumvent them through third countries and import military components with complete impunity, despite harsh first-hand sanctions by the European Union. Well, this attack is a clear no to peace process. I can hear a sound of slap in the face of all the American people, and President Trump stands to make a peace deal with Moscow. While Peskov and Lavrov clearly state Russia wants war. And they demonstrate it clearly with missiles killing civilians in Kyiv overnight. And what about Foreign Minister of Hungary, Peter Szijjártó, now? He was blaming Ukraine for explosions and Russian oil pipelines, saying Ukraine is damaging Hungarian sovereignty. But how did the Hungarian sovereignty turn out to be in Russia's hand in the first place? Well, that's a rhetorical one, of course.
As of now, already 14 people are known to have been killed as a result of the Russian attack, including 3 children, a horrific and deliberate killing of civilians. The Russians are not choosing to end the war, only new strikes. Overnight in Kyiv, dozens of buildings were damaged, residential houses, office centers, civilian enterprises, among them also the building where the European Union delegation to Ukraine is located. It is crucial now that the world responds firmly. Russia must stop this war it started and continues. For the spurning of ceasefire and for the constant Russian attempts to weasel out of negotiations, new strong sanctions are needed. Only this can work. The Russians understand only strength and pressure. For every strike, Moscow must feel the consequences. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on X social network.
Kyiv is purchasing and developing new long-range weapons capable of striking targets as far away as Siberia, replacing the American ATACMS missiles, which have a range of up to 300 kilometers. The Ukrainian armed forces may soon receive new domestically produced systems. These include the anti-ship missile Long Neptune, with a range of up to 1,000 kilometers, and the cruise missile Flamingo, which was reportedly capable of reaching up to staggering 3,000 kilometers. More details in the report by my dear colleague Yulia Granovska for you.
Ukraine is using domestically produced long-range weapons to strike Russia and does not need to coordinate targets with the United States, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said.
As of today, to be honest, we are using our long-range weapons of domestic production. And recently, frankly speaking, we have not been discussing such matters with the United States. There was a time when this happened, you remember? When there were different signals regarding our retaliatory strikes after Russia's attacks on our energy infrastructure.
Stronger and longer range than the American ATACMS. For the first time, on the 34th anniversary of Ukraine's Independence Day, the official government portal, Weapons, presented a new version of the R-360 Neptune anti-ship missile. Tested back in March this year, the Ukrainian development, unofficially called Long Neptune, exceeds the range of the well-known American ATACMS more than threefold, reaching 1,000 kilometers. According to expert assessments, the length of the updated Neptune exceeds 6 meters without the booster, 1.5 meters longer than the original R-360. The central fuselage section has also been enlarged to about 50 centimeters compared to the previous 38.
Long Neptune has already been used. I won't say the exact location, but it was in Russia's Krasnodar region. One of the strikes hit a facility connected to the storage of Russian missiles and Iranian Shaheds, which are used to attack Ukraine. There were several other gifts as well, including at sea.
In August this year, Ukraine unveiled another development, the FP-5 Flamingo cruise missile. Its name comes from the fact that its nose cone is painted bright pink. These missiles are already in serial production and have been successfully used to strike deep inside Russia. Experts note that not only central regions of the Russian Federation, but also Murmansk and Omsk could fall within Flamingo's strike zone. The missile has a range of 3,000 kilometers, a speed of 950 kilometers per hour, and a wingspan of 6 meters. Its 1,150-kilogram warhead is 2.5 times more powerful than that of the American Tomahawk Block 5, which weighs 450 kilograms. Flamingo's range is also nearly double. Today, by its technical characteristics, it is considered the best subsonic cruise missile in the world.
As we can see, the strategic choice of our country, the focus on missile development, and the revival of missile production is already delivering results.
Strengthening Ukraine's defense capability and boosting its own military industry is a key priority for Kyiv and its allies, President Zelensky emphasizes.
NATO countries are now joining a new program called PURL, a collective tool that makes it possible to increase aid to Ukraine through arms procurement specifically from the United States. Already, decisions worth $1.5 billion have been made within the program. European countries have also made their contributions.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, during his Independence Day visit to Kyiv, confirmed that Ottawa is also ready to join the PURL program.
$800 million will help strengthen Ukraine's arsenal with urgent defensive weapons, ammunition, drones, armored vehicles. We are also now talking about guidance systems and precision instruments. In addition, we allocated another $200 million for the joint production of advanced drones with Canadian suppliers. Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada.
On August 26th, Ukraine reached an agreement with the United Kingdom on cooperation in drone production. Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal announced, since Russia's full-scale invasion, Ukraine has significantly ramped up arms production and the introduction of new technologies that are already being used on the battlefield. According to the Ministry of Defense, weapons production has increased 35-fold, and the government plans to expand this further, in particular in the area of drones. Earlier, the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine reported that the target for 2025 is to produce up to 4.5 million drones. Reported by Yulia Granovska, UATV News.
It was UATV. My name is Ernie Keane. Thank you so very much for standing with Ukraine. Please subscribe so to stay tuned to what is happening in the world, shown to you from Ukrainian perspective by UATV. Stay tuned. Goodbye.